now let's look at prompt engineering. Prompt engineering has two principles. One is your principle one, write clear and specific instruction. So one more thing is you need to know that clear is not equal to short instructions. Being very clear what you wanted the large language model or ChatGPT or your BRAD to do, you give it in a very clear manner. So that's what is a clear instruction. And second one is giving the model time to think. So now let's look at the principle one. So the tactics used for the prompt is you can use quotes, you can use brackets, you can use dash, you can use angle brackets, and you can use XML tags. So one thing is to use quotes, right? Let's look at an example one. So you pass a text. In the text you give a large number of text. So before this so how do you run these example is basically you need to, if you have Google Colab, you can log into it, and then you can install OpenAI, like pip install OpenAI. So this, once you install this, then you can do one thing is that you need to have OpenAI key. So open so what you do is, let me write it clearly. So open AI dot API key. So you need to pass the OpenAI. This key you can find it under the OpenAI account that you have, and these you can run it under 3.5 turbo version. You can find all these in the online. So I'll just, the main we're going to focus on how do you define prompts. So that's what, but you can run all these using your Colab, Google Colab. So the main thing is you for example, then you define a text that is equal to s is equal to pass 3 in the brackets. You need to pass 3 brackets, that's very important. So then you pass a summarize, you pass a large number of text which needs to be summarized. So that is basically you define a prompt and you take this and you tell summarize this text, and then you pass this text in the brackets, and you pass the slashes. 3 slashes are very important. So you have starting slashes and ending slashes. So then you pass this prompt as part of the prompt, then you would get a summarized text. So that's how you pass. Now let's look at for a structured output. Say that I need an XML or a JSON. Say for example, in this prompt we would say that give me the list of movies in the JSON format with the following format, like movie ID, title, movie name, and genre. So now you pass this prompt to ChatGPT, then you would get it in a structured JSON format. That's how it would print you, and you can just take that and use it. So next one is like asking ChatGPT to check whether the conditions are satisfied. So that you have a text, say that you have a text. So now you have a text. So in this text, what you do is you pass, for example, in this sample text, right, you can pass saying, give a text which contains instructions like how do you make a cup of coffee, or how do you make a cup of some dishes, okay. And in the prompt, right, you pass that text here, and the point is that you need to tell it in which format. So you tell step 1, you just print it in the format of step 1, step 2, and step n, and say that if that text does not have any instruction, then make sure that you give no instructions. So no instructions provided. So then you pass this text as part of the prompt, and then you pass it, then you would get it in a step format. For example, just here you pass a text which does not have any instructions, then you would be able to see that no step provided, you would get it. So next is like a few shots prompt. So this is like saying, so you pass a prompt where you give a sample to the prompt, saying that you can pass a conversation and it will give you the end conversation, subsequent conversations. Or you say that you want to write a poem, and you give an example saying that, okay, you write 2 lines of poem, and then subsequently the LLM model would create a poem out of the examples that you get. So in this example, you can see that I've taken children and teacher. In this, the children say, how do I solve this problem? The teacher says you can add 5 plus 10 and it gives 15. Then the children tell, this is so easy. So now once you pass this prompt, GPT may give you saying haha. So as like, say, teacher like haha. So that's how the first principle works. So let's catch up in the next video on the second principle.